A mandatory evacuation has been issued for Slave Lake and most of Slave Lake has been lost to fire, including the radio station, the town office, and various area residents are advised that for the duration of the emergency, local authorities may take any action it deems necessary to deal with the situation.
I consider our family actually one of the lucky ones. We actually weren't in town the day of the fire.
We did see a large black cloud come over the government center. So it was very eerie.
We would put the water and then we'd stop, right? And then as we were stopping, it would put it out for a little while, but the flames kept coming.
My best friend phoned me and she said, you know, buddy, do you want me to grab anything from your house? And that was kind of like, oh my God, are you kidding? We live in the middle of town.
We were put on standby through various municipal authorities and also the province as the winds in Slave Lake changed drastically.
So we needed to make the decision, are we going back for the camper? That's all we have.
We saw fire dropping from the sky.
What we didn't know is that as we were coming north, they were shutting the highway down in behind us.
People led it, managed it, responded well, but my biggest concern was as people were being evacuated out of Slave Lake, I didn't want our people driving into a fire.
So we're going in, we're sucking the slides in, holding up the fifth wheel, and we're getting out of there.
5,000 vehicles leaving the community in a giant line. And literally they were surrounded by fires on all sides of the highway. It's quite a chilling thought.
So we basically gathered up all our belongings that we had left, and we got into the convoy as it went by.
The evacuation of a community of not just Slave Lake, it was 17,000 people were on the move in Canada, and that's unheard of.
So Slave Lake here is more or less in the middle of Alberta. Where were all of the host communities and the shelters and reception centers that opened up? Valley View just to the west. About 30 minutes west of there was Grand Prairie. Peace River. We also have Smith over here, Athabasca, Westlock, and Edmonton.
Those communities actually saved the day on the Sunday night. They opened up reception shelters and reception centers in all those towns and took those people in.
We ended up in Westlock. So, and why we consider ourselves lucky is really because we knew each and every one of our kids were safe, and the people that we really cared about and that we loved were safe. And that night, we actually got to put our heads down on a pillow that was ours. And it sounds so silly, like it's something so trivial, but we knew that we had nothing left. So, and yet we did. We had everything. We had more than most people because we still had our little home on wheels.
When it comes to the volunteers that helped out with Slave Lake, I would say that without them, we wouldn't have been able to respond. The volunteers were absolutely amazing.
When you got there and you saw the scope of the response from the fantastic Red Cross volunteers right across Canada, there was people there from coast to coast in Canada. It was totally amazing.
When we say volunteers, people make an assumption that they're not professionals. They may be unpaid, but they're extraordinarily professional. We've got people that run big companies, project managers for huge organizations, HR managers for huge organizations that donate their time and their energy to us to help other people that we could never afford to pay for on the market.
simply because there was such a huge volume of people that were displaced. It took us about 2 months before we were able to get out of the emergency relief phase and into a longer term mentality. When you look at some of the psychological and social needs of a community or even a family after disaster, sometimes the best and the cheapest method for dealing with it is just to listen, and that's often, during the response, we probably spent thousands of hours just sitting down and listening to people's stories.
Very first people, other than some of the children that came back, were the Red Cross, the team of Red Cross boys. And we were like, oh my goodness. In tears. They had diapers, they had milk, they had wipes, toys. Their little truck was just full.
Well, when I arrived 7 months ago, there was no construction, there were no buildings, it was all just black. There was still debris on the lots, there were still the empty shells of burned out cars. They hadn't been removed yet. But as you can see now, there's a lot of houses going up.
Things that, have helped us get to where we are today is, that pulling together attitude. Helping each other. I mean, the Red Cross being on the ground and agencies here to support us. Having that outside help is critical.
Your donations are hard at work, and it'll be a couple of years before our work is done there. But every dollar that you gave is going to put to work in Slave Lake and the surrounding communities. Every penny of interest that money earned is put to work in that community.
I think what stands out for me the most is when I have a family in front of me at our recovery center and they are in need of immediate help, and we can provide that help, and the look on their faces, that says it all for me.
We have a big community, we've got big hearts, and we're going to do it.
It's been a privilege. It's been a total privilege to come there and do the work of the Red Cross, to meet the citizens of Slave Lake, and I'm looking forward to coming back.